Welcome back to our study called The Flood, and we're looking at Genesis chapter 7. And today we're just kind of wrapping everything up today. And the question is, what do we need to learn from this chapter? First, we are to know and to obey the commands of God. They're not optional. You can't pick and choose what you want. God will not be mocked, okay? You can't just say, well, I don't like this God, I'm not going to do it. When Jesus said to love our neighbors as ourselves, he meant it. That was not just a suggestion. He wasn't saying, well, you should really think about this. It'll help your life out. It'll give you the best life now if you love your neighbor as yourself. He's saying, no, this is my command. This is what you do. You're a human. You do what I say. I'm the creator. That's his prerogative, right? He's God. Anyway, second, the worldwide flood happened. We need to learn that. Beware, because of the world hatred for God, they will do everything in their power to discredit the history of God. Don't be fooled by the evolutionary faith and the narrative. Their agenda starts with the presupposition that God does not exist and then builds everything else on that premise. We start with the presupposition that God does exist and He has revealed Himself in the pages of Scripture. So watch out, be careful, because that's out there. The world does not like this story. The world does not like God. They hate God, and they don't like the fact that He said that He wiped out the entire earth with a flood, and that's been recorded. And so if they're looking around, looking at the world, looking at stuff buried under the ground, looking at where humans came from, they're going to try to discredit it. They won't even consider that as an option. They just completely blocked out, even if the evidence may point to that, even if they can get the evidence to cooperate with that, they're still not going to see it. So just beware of that. It's not that Christians, oftentimes Christians are accused of being anti-science. It's science versus faith. That's not true. That's not true. We're just starting from a different presupposition. We're starting from a different starting point. We believe in God. You don't believe in God. We're looking at the same evidence. We're looking at the same science. We're looking at the same statistics. We're looking at the same things that you're digging out of the ground. We're looking at them. We're taking the same measurements. We're considering where they came from. We're looking at the different levels of rock. So it's not that science is opposed to faith or faith is opposed to science. It's just that we take the evidence trail in a different direction because our starting point is different. That's all. And really the question then becomes not so much, what does the evidence say? It really becomes, is there a God or not? So that's the difference. Third lesson, God destroyed all people in the days of Noah for their sins. Let us not think that our day is any less deserving of similar destruction. Remember, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, and that is what saved him from destruction. The same is true today. The only way that anyone is ever saved is if they find grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah was not saved because he was a perfect man. He was not. You can check that out for yourself. There's a story recorded, and I think God specifically put the story of Noah getting drunk and laying around in his tent naked to show us that he was not perfect, that it was because of the favor God placed upon him is why he was saved and the rest of mankind. Not because Noah was this perfect, floating on the clouds kind of person. Noah wasn't saved because he built the ark either. He was saved through the ark, but not because. He wasn't saved because he was such a great craftsman. It wasn't because he was, so good at building arks that he was saved. That's not why. He was saved by grace alone, through faith alone. Hebrews tells us, by faith Noah, being warned by God concerning events as yet unseen, in reverent fear constructed an ark for the saving of his household. By this he condemned the world and became an heir of the righteousness that comes by faith. That's Hebrews 11:7. That's an interesting thing. Ponder that, Hebrews 11:7. Take a look at that. Spend a little more time with that. Let us likewise now turn and follow God, just like Noah. And we too will find that we have an ark for us to save us from the coming waters of destruction. That ark is Jesus Christ, and He will carry us through the waters of judgment that are to come.